Hey again, and welcome back to Harris Voiceover. Today we'll be diving into the Grand Canyon, but this time, the mysteries that it contains. Before we do though, remember to hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell to keep up on any new videos. Now let's get into it. Number 5. JFK's Underground Suite. This one does actually exist. Kennedy's Grand Canyon Caverns Underground Suite started as the Cuban Missile Crisis became more prominent in people's minds back in 1961, and is currently being managed by the Grand Canyon Caverns Motel at around 220 feet underground. The caves they were made in were around 65 million years old before construction. It was created with enough supplies for around 2,000 people to live in this cave for a full month. As for who was invited to survive for that month is unknown, but it more than likely wasn't the local milkman that you now know as your grandfather. On the upside, we never have to know, because there were no bombs dropped. You can spend the night at this somewhat lavish location for the low price of around $900 for you and your other half. For this price, you do get somewhere to sleep, a TV, and oddly enough, they also have Wi-Fi. There are 48 bedrooms in these caves to choose from, which I think also means that 2,000 people may not have been the original idea when it was constructed. So how long really was the original list? Number 4. Dinosaurs. I'm sure that most would think, well yeah, the canyon is millions of years old. Of course there were dinosaurs. However, there hasn't been any real evidence to support there being dinosaurs in this area until more recently. The first article to report fossil tracks was released back in 1918, but it would be almost 100 years later in 2017 when more proof and scientists would come together to figure out what was found. These tracks in this Coconino sandstone were found to be 280 million years old and created by tetrapods, or four-footed animals. The animals that they were created by is believed to be the earliest form of reptiles known as diectomorphs, animals that actually had characteristics of both reptiles and amphibians. It is the first possible proof of them being in this continent, and also the first proof of them living in a desert environment. These tracks are also the youngest recorded tracks of this type. So just in case you were curious, you now know that the Grand Canyon used to facilitate giant iguanas. Number 3. Aliens. The mystery of aliens has been around forever, and until one pops out in front of us and says, "Hey guys, how's it going?" it'll stay a mystery, much like this next story. There have been many UFO sightings at the Grand Canyon. I've also found a story about a possible UFO crash site there as well. There was reportedly a team hired to check out debris found at the canyon. Upon their inspection, they found the object to be radiated, so they shipped it to a secured military location for a safer look at and into this craft. It is believed that it had crashed there over 4,000 years ago at Comanche Point. When walking inside, they found a cockpit that appeared to be made for humanoid creatures that stood between 4 to 5 feet in height. With the size of the vessel, it was also determined that it could transport up to 20 of them at a time, and was made of unknown metals. They also found old machines that resembled air tanks, and remnants of supplies like food and water. It was found to have magnetic steering and was atom-powered. Unfortunately, no friendly alien was ever found. Number 2. The Mogollon Monster. The Mogollon Monster, also known to Arizona residents as the Arizona Bigfoot, has many tales of sightings. It is known as the Mogollon Monster due to its location. It does power walks around the Mogollon Rim and stands at a whopping 8 foot at the shoulders and around 4 feet wide, says one camper. Also, much like Sasquatch and Bigfoot, it is a very hairy ape-like creature. It is said to have a square-shaped face and head and large expressionless eyes. The sounds that it reportedly makes is, well, everything. It does its best to mimic other animals to blend in. This giant hairy creature seems to be even more elusive of cameras as well. Much like the government, it will only watch from a distance. Sometimes it gets caught, but not long enough for a portrait to be composed. If you want a longer look, or maybe want to try to catch it, set out some treats, because it's been said that they really love sweets. Number 1. The Underground City. And now we're on the last Grand Canyon mystery on this video, the city found in a cave. On April 5, 1909, an article from the La Gazzetta de Arizona, or the Arizona Gazette, tells the tale of a man by the name of G.E. Kincaid, an archaeologist, who found this cave by accident while rafting the Colorado River. It was said that he got support from the Smithsonian Museum to help in exploring the cave with the funding, tools, and personnel required, plus the ability to legally enter that area of the Grand Canyon. since that area was protected by the government. Kincaid's exploration would take him close to 1,500 feet underground, finding thousands of feet of passageways, rooms, and giant chambers, hand-carved walls, steps, and even hieroglyphs possibly tied to Egypt. They had found a possible idol, an image of a god sitting cross-legged with a lotus flower or lily in each hand resembling Buddha. Mummies were also found, and not just any mummies. These mummies were all found to be close to 9 feet tall or taller. So, giants. Many artifacts were also found, like handcrafted cups made of gold and copper, vases, and urns. Even broken swords, which shows that thousands of years ago, this civilization could already do metalwork. With how large this place was, they estimated that around 50,000 people could have lived here comfortably. So how did he find this cave of mystery? Since it is 2,000 feet up from the river where there is a shelf just underneath the mouth of the cave, it can't be seen from the river. What did catch his eye, however, was stains in the sedimentary formation near the cave. He then made his way up the difficult path, till he ended up on top of the shelf, where he would see steps that led from 30 yards from the cave directly to the mouth. Unfortunately, after this adventure had taken place, there seems to be a lot of missing evidence. Plus, the Smithsonian seems to have no information of this event ever taking place. Well, that's what I got for this one. If you have any more information to add, or a subject you'd like me to dig into more, let me know in the comments section down below. And I will see you at the next video.